controlled jaw. So these sharks will actually have to slide their jaws all the way out of their mouth to grab their food. It looks absolutely ridiculous when they do it. When they do it very quickly. It happens within a split second. So, as Casey mentioned earlier, the turtles get fed first because of their bad table manners, and you can see exactly why. So, Dave there almost went off in Shani's rig. Look, baby. Keep a careful eye on the sharks, guys. Now you might notice as our divers are feeding that we only have one diver feeding at a time, and that's because there's lots of sharks in here. There's 6 sharks at the moment on this side. So one diver needs to act as backup to make sure that no sharks are approaching from behind. So this is Freckles coming down now towards the divers. This is our youngest shark. And she's one of our best eaters as well, even though she is the youngest. So this type of shark that you're all looking at now, believe it or not, here in New South Wales they are a critically endangered species. So we're very lucky to have a captive breeding population of them here. So we do breed them for conservation reasons. Now these sharks are very placid as well. Unfortunately, they did suffer from a bit of an image problem in the past, especially back in the 60s and 70s. These sharks were thought to be man-eaters. Now, nothing could be further from the truth, and I think watching this feed is a good testament to that. When you see sharks in the media, such as in movies like Jaws, or hear about shark bites and shark attacks in the news, you may think of sharks as merciless killers that are always hungry, but nothing could be further from the truth. By the way, does anybody here know, on average, how many people are killed by sharks in Australia, on average? 6? It's actually a bit lower than that. Does anyone else want to hazard a guess? Or know the answer? No? It's actually less than 1. So we do hear a lot about shark attack fatalities. Some years that number is higher, but the reason why the average... Oh, look at this guy. So that's the jaw distension that Striker over here just did. So that's what our sharks will do when they're taking their fish. So as I was saying, the number of shark attacks is very low. Some years it will be higher, but most years in Australia, the number of shark attack fatalities is actually 0, which is why the average is less than 1. In fact, you are more likely to be killed by a lightning strike than to be killed by a shark, and you are also more likely to be killed by a vending machine falling on you than killed by a shark. So really, when you're out in the ocean, sharks are the least of your worries. As I mentioned before, known to scientists, there are over 500 species of sharks. It's less than 20 that have ever been known to bite people. So most sharks have no interest in biting people, and no sharks have humans on the menu. Now you might think that that's odd because shark bites do occur. Scientists think the most likely reason for this is a case of mistaken identity. On a surfboard, we can look like a turtle, and in a wetsuit, we can look like a seal. So it's very easy to get us mixed up. And sharks are very unlikely to eat the body of a person once they've taken a bite. They will normally back away once they have taken a bite. They realise that's not what they thought it was, it's not what they want to eat, and they will go away. Which doesn't make it any less tragic, but it does mean that it is very unlikely to happen. Especially not with these sharks. In return though, humans are responsible for a lot of shark fatalities. In the number, between 73 and 100 million every single year. The main reason why so many shark fatalities occur because of people is because of shark fin soup, which is a very valuable dish. they're often worth thousands of dollars, the shark fins. But it does mean that many sharks are targeted by fisheries. And it does mean that their numbers are becoming very low. Sharks are really important for our ecosystems. In areas where shark numbers have depleted, coral reef systems have started to become quite unhealthy and have become overtaken by algae. In areas where sharks are protected though, coral reefs have become back a lot more resilient and a lot more healthy. So healthy oceans do need sharks. So we do encourage everybody here to get behind shark conservation, to become a champion for sharks. Some of the best ways that you can help to protect sharks is to just not buy shark products. So that's one of the best things you can do. And it is quite tricky sometimes to avoid buying shark products because they're often not labelled properly. A lot of the time when you go to the fish shop, what you're actually buying is shark. It's often called flake, or it's often just called fish. But not only is it bad for the environment and also quite cruel to the sharks as well, it's also quite bad for us because shark meat is very high in mercury. So if you're eating that, you can actually become very sick yourself.